going on? Hopefully everybody can see me. We're going to do our best to talk on here and talk on the show. As always, before we get into the YMM versus Riot Squad game, this is brought to you in the playoff edition. Members Mark purified water.
You'll never give up.
And all y'all guys that are members, you gotta make your mark and have this purified water. Just to throw that out there, our sponsors for today done a great job this season. We want to talk to the CEO, Bob Turner.
Bob Turner. Is that the guy's name?
Listen, I'm going over it. We're going to go over the executive members Mark Water, Mr. LG, Life's Good, Life Good.
What? It seems like you're just making stuff up now.
Wait, that says LG, Life's Good. Mr. Canon Camera. We want to thank those guys for sponsoring the UFL with members Mark Purified Water.
As long as that makes sense to you and it makes you happy, yes. Thank you for sponsoring Real Tough Talk. You know, obviously I speak in defeats because you're never going to stop. Yeah. So I'll just leave it alone and I'll work with it. So
what problem do you got with members Mark Water? Like, what is the problem? I've seen you drink it. It's good water.
I don't have a problem with the water, but it's water. And you do not know the CEO. I don't know no guy, and I don't think the guy's name is Bob Turner. Come on. That's the name that you picked out of anywhere.
Listen.
Come on. There's nobody named Bob Turner.
Is the CEO of Members Mark Purified Water. He's been doing it for years. He reached out to me. Yeah. Me and him talk. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a real good guy.
A good guy that doesn't exist. Thank you. Yes. I think I've met him before in my imagination. I was like, what, 5? He had like 4 eyes and he was green, you know, just like any other imaginary friend, anything like that. It seems like you're making it up just like I did when I was a kid.
Listen, at the end of the day, before, like I said, we're going to get into the game. But once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors at Members Mark Purified Water.
Listen.
Thank you, guys.
Where's my money, Members Mark Water? Where's my money? Listen, you keep talking about them. Where's my money? Where's my cut? I'm broke here. I'm sitting here with you, wasting my time. I should be getting rich if they sponsor us. Give me some money, yo.
They sponsor us with purified water.
I don't want
It's not
water.
about the money. It's about the purification of the water. Okay?
Listen,
how it purifies your soul. Okay?
I can't put water in my wallet, yo.
Listen,
it ruins everything else.
We're going to get into games. Don't listen to him. He doesn't speak all of Real Tough Talk. He's just a 50% owner. Okay? So whatever 50% he has, don't worry about that. This part of Real Tough Talk, we love y'all guys. Thank you. Now we're going to jump into the game. YMM versus Riot Squad. 2 versus 3. YMM is the reigning Eastern Conference champs. And now they play a Riot Squad team who has the ability to they're trying to get back. I don't think they're the same team. They miss a lot of key members of this team this year. They made out some big pickups, but they made a lot of pickups with guys who wasn't here every week rather than guys that they had last season who was here every week.
And I think that's what made their season very shaky, you know, very hard to predict how they were going to end the season and how they would be in the playoffs because certain guys were not coming every week because it seems like every other week they were a different team.
Right.
That's why they were not a solid team, a team that you would say, hey, this is a team that you have to worry about because you didn't know which week you were going to get who's going to show up, who's going to be there, who's going to play at a high caliber because every week was different. Right. Every week somebody didn't show up.
Correct.
Other guys didn't play well.
Correct.
You know, so there was no way to be certain about this team, and I think that's what hurt them.
And on Riot Squad game, you got to put respect on Pig's name as far as a GM. I think he needs to work as far as being a coach, captain. I think he still needs to learn how to lead. I think he's gonna get better as long as he learns to listen. To lead, you got to listen. You got to know which guys on your team you need to massage, which type of team guys you need to get aggressive with. I still think he don't know that. But as far as the GM move, went out, got Ramsey, went out, got Amir, King, who helped them in the beginning of the season to replace Smoke. The pickups this guy has made, and to go get a Lou. who nobody knew about Lou. Lou played a few games here and there with
the
Gunners, but nobody was looking to pick him up. He got picked up by Riot Squad, and now the guy's up there for MVP.
Yeah.
You got to give Pig a lot of credit for putting this team together.
Yes, and the thing about it is all of these pickups were sound pickups. They were pickups that actually helped them propel into a number 1 seed beginning of the season, and the beginning half of the season. But all of that started to implode. One thing that really did hurt them is they end up losing King after week 5. They lost him. They had no pass rusher.
While he was leading the league in sacks.
Yes, he was actually leading the league in sacks, and he was on the verge of breaking the record if he stood in the same pace as he did. So because they lost him, they lost their main pass rusher, they lost their person to pressure the quarterback. Because of that, their defense became that much weaker, and it showed in how they ended the season. They went 0-4 after losing him.
Right. Now we're gonna get into the game. Now this game's gonna be exciting, so we're gonna jump right into it. Third down, Ramsey on 4 rush, rolls right, throws to Meeks in the gap for a nice game, picking up the first. If you look here, Jeremy's not guarding anybody. Jeremy did not play. He's an all-star, but he did not play this season the way he usually played, and he has struggled against this Riot Squad team. I think because Ramsey can move in the pocket, and it's hard for him to be able to cheat on that type of quarterback. First, after getting the first down, Ramsey on 4 rush gets sacked by Kaka. Second down on 4 rush, Ramsey falls, is sacked again by Kaka. Riots have to punt. Great stop by YMM. Big defensive stop by them.
And one thing I got to say is you got to give Kaka credit here, because Ramsey likes to scramble and he likes to run when he doesn't have any pass options. But Kaka is one of the fastest guys on this YMM team, so he can chase down any quarterback. And because of that, it makes Ramsey stumble as he's trying to get away from the pass rush, and that is 2 effective sacks by Kaka there.
Corey gets the ball back for YMM. With 3 short passes, he gets to the 40-yard line. Last down, Corey on 4 rush, throws Rico in the gap. The ball is tipped by Emil, incomplete, giving the ball back to YMM. And that is a position where you should have punted the ball. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what they're trying to prove. You just stop this Riot Squad team. Why would you give them half of the field? And that's my problem. It's leadership and ego. And that's why they gave Riot Squad great field position. I put that on Rico, and I put that on Caesar.
And I call that false confidence, because yes, they had the confidence to go for it in that position. They felt like they could do it. But at the end of the day, why take a chance when it's going to hurt them more than help if it doesn't work out?
Second down, Ramsey throws short to Julio for a decent gain. Third down, Ramsey gets blitzed by Santana. Throws it to Lou in the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Lou catches Tim with the in-out route. Julio gets the extra point. 7-0. Riot takes the lead.
And it doesn't matter who's guarding Lou at this point. He figures out a way. He figures out a way to separate himself from the defense. This is an impressive in-out route. He cuts in. Tim moves with them. By the time Tim is reacting to the in move, he's already cutting out, and Ramsey's already throwing the ball. That is a great connection between quarterback and receiver. As soon as he makes the move, the ball is there. That is the way you play, and that is where you take advantage of defensive mistakes.
And my issue with them is, why isn't your best safety guarding their best receiver? Whatever side Lou lines up on, that's the side that Jeremy should be shifting on.
Listen, to their defense, maybe it's because of what happened the last time they
when
played
YMM. He touched him for 2 touchdowns.
Yes, and he made him look bad in that game. Lou had him falling. Lou had him trailing him as he got passes thrown to him. So there was a lot that Lou did that Jeremy didn't expect, and maybe they decided to try something different, but so far it ain't worked.
Corey gets the ball back. He throws short to Santana. Santana with a nice move runs for a decent game. Second down, Santana. Corey throws deep to Santana, cutting past London for a big gain, picking up the first down. Second down, Corey on 4 rush, throws to Tim in the middle end zone. Tim with a great catch for the touchdown. YMM gets a 2-point conversion with X, and they go up 8-7.
And this is the way to strike right back. Finally, they're able to make good defensive, offensive decisions. They drive down the field, and Corey uses Tim right. Tim is a lengthy receiver, very athletic. He throws it where only Tim can get it. Tim was wide open there. That's an accurate throw and a great, even better catch for the score. And then you take the 2-point conversion here. That is some effective offense catching Riot Squad sleeping.
And once again, like I've been telling you, and all of the tuners that's in here, you know, this is we go live every week. If you want to see it on with the green screen and everything, this is what we do live, and then we put the special effects in it. If you want to see what we do, go to Real Tough Talk on YouTube. Real TUFF, which is Tough Talk on YouTube, and you can see our shows. You can see the green screen. You can see how it looks on the finished product, just to throw that out there. Now, on this drive, once again, London gets beat. London has played terrible this season, and teams are attacking him. And once again, Santana goes after him, as what teams have done this season, and he's able to beat him for a big gain, and then Corey's able to find Tim in the end zone for the touchdown, 8-7. They better fix that quick, because everybody's been going after London this year.
And they've been watching, and London's one person that's slow on certain routes. As soon as a person cuts, they're open, and London's reaction time is not necessarily the best, and that is why receivers get open with him guarding them.
Third down, Ramsey throws a Meeks in the middle. Almost picked off by Jeremy. Riot have to punt. Now, this time, Jeremy gets it right. He jumps the route, almost gets an interception, but forces Riot to punt. That's the Jeremy they need. He hasn't played well against Riot this season, but he's playing well now.
I mean, the only thing I could take away from that is I expect Jeremy to catch the interception. I'm not killing him for it, but I'm so used to Jeremy catching those interceptions. One thing I know about Jeremy is if you throw it his way, he's most likely going to pick it off. This is one shocking moment where he drops the pick off, but it doesn't matter. It's still good defense, and they have the ball.
Corey on 3 straight passes for a decent game. Last down, Corey on 4 rush, throws deep to Tim in the back of the end zone. That's dropped. Turnover on downs, giving it back to Riot Squad, and Tim has to catch that ball. He caught one earlier, with a great move. He got to be able to come up there looking for him, and he comes up short and cannot hold on to this ball. That is a big touchdown drop.
I mean, one thing I could say is there was a defender that jumped in front of him that went to knock the ball down, but the point is, at the end of the day, the ball's coming your way. You have to pay attention, be aware. That is why you're out there. It seems like the defender got in his way. He didn't expect the ball to get through, but you got to be prepared for that. The ball touches his hands right there. Corey puts it right there in his hands, and he drops it. It's unfortunate when you just came from catching a touchdown pass.
First down, Ramsey on 4 rush gets sacked by Kaka. Second down, Ramsey is blitzed by Rico, scrambles and throws deep to Lou on the sideline. Incomplete. Riot is going to have to punt. That Kaka is shutting down Ramsey's running game. We've seen Ramsey beat a lot of ball givers, but it was great that this team decided to put Kaka there, who has speed and can keep up with Ramsey, and he's stopping Ramsey from running the ball, and now Riot has to punt.
And that's effective enough because that is his 3rd sack of the game. Keeping Ramsey in the pocket, keeping him honest, keeping him from rolling out, because Ramsey's one person that when he's rolling out, that's what makes him more dangerous because he buys himself more time, and his receivers get even better space from the defenders. So keeping him in the pocket is a great way to it's good defense, and Kaka's doing it here.
Second down, Corey throws the X wide open in the middle for a nice game. YMM can't score before the half. They go into the half up 8-zip. If I'm YMM, we got to make plays. We're not making plays. And by the way, we're missing Rico. Is Rico here?
8-7.
Yeah, 8-7 YMM with the lead. Isn't Rico on my team?
Yeah.
Isn't Rico the most dangerous inside the 5 receivers in the game? He's a guy that can also stretch the field. I didn't hear Rico once on offense. Is he taking a step back? He needs to be the dominant guy he is and get involved in his passing game and help them out. Tim dropped a huge touchdown. This team is shooting us up in the foot, and if you keep Riot Squad around, they may surprise you and win this game.
And on Riot Squad's side, yes, they were able to score 7 on their side, but at the end of the day, Ramsey is not necessarily playing his best, and I think it's because of the pressure from Kaka keeping them honest in the pocket. And if they had a little bit more time, I think that they will be a little more successful because Ramsey cannot run. The receivers have to find ways to get open.
Watch your hand because they say don't bang on him.
Yeah. I'm not banging. I'm not banging. Listen, but at the end of the day, the game is close. They have an opportunity to take over in the second half. They have to give Ramsey a little bit more time by receivers breaking routes and getting open. I think that they're going a little too deep on the field, and that is why Ramsey is struggling, and he's getting sacked a lot. Yes, they talk
Pig said pause that. He said sacks means something. That's an ill pause. Pause that.
Yes, definitely. But at the end of the day, if they gave Ramsey some more time and too many receivers are going deep, if they don't do that, I think Ramsey will be more successful at chopping the field up, and they will be better off in the second half.
Corey second half with 2 passes for a decent gain. Third down, Corey throws the X on the sideline, picked off by Ramsey, giving the ball back to Riot Squad, and that's a great play by Ramsey. We've seen Ramsey have a few interceptions this year, and he surprises guys. They figure, he's a quarterback. Ramsey can play multiple positions, and he makes Corey make a mistake here. And the thing about Corey is You can't throw an interception to the quarterback. You got to
Yeah.
know where to put the ball. He does it, and that's a huge mistake by Corey.
That's like a pitcher getting a home run hit on him by
another
the other
pitcher.
pitcher.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that you don't do. And it's a bad look. It shows that you're not necessarily playing your best out there when you have the other quarterback baiting you on defense.
JP said that was a huge momentum play. Yes, it was. Ramsey scrambles on 4 rush, throws in London a sideline for a nice gain, picking up the first down. Ramsey on 4 rush, throws deep to London, cutting the gap for a nice gain. Second down at the 10-yard line, gets blitzed by Rico, runs to the end zone, extends the ball across the plane. Ref said he stopped before the ball crossed. And if you look here, I think the ball was over.
Yeah.
But they choose not to challenge. Should they have challenged that play?
I think that they could have. I think that they had a strong case to make challenging the play. I think that they probably would have gotten it if they would have tried. But they said they were confident. They were right there. They had a few more downs to go. So they figured they were still going to score. They didn't want to waste their challenge. They wanted to keep it for a more important position. But this is important here.
Yep.
You don't know what's going to happen in the next drive, in the next play. So I think that they should have took a chance. It's already the second half. When else are you going to use your challenge? I think that they should have used it here. I think this was a touchdown.
Well, it doesn't hurt them because third down at the 1-yard line, Ramsey scrambles, finds JP in the middle of the end zone for the touchdown, 13-8. Riot takes the lead.
And finally, you hear JP's name being called in this game.
Yep.
He's one person that, you know, gets open. He finds ways to get open.
Yeah.
He's not the best route runner in the game, but he finds ways to get
And the
open
guy has
anyway.
hands. He
Yes,
has
and
hands.
so he's a target that I think Riot Squad have missed in this game. And
Yep.
finally, Ramsey finds him in the end zone. I think that that's a big confidence boost when you have receivers like that getting in the game. And I think that it increases Riot Squad's chances now that he's a target and he's putting up points here.
Well, JP made a huge touchdown catch last year in the playoffs versus Carver. You know what I mean? I believe he was with Angel guarding him. So the guy is a big body. He can catch the ball, big hands. He's not a great route runner, but the guy finds a way to get open. But what this does is it creates more confidence for this team. YMM took the lead and got the ball back in the second half. For Ramsey to jump the route, pick off the ball, and then is able to drive down the field and score, that is a huge momentum builder. Exactly what this team needs. This team plays on energy, and they make a great play here. Jeremy gets flagged for throwing the ball at Lou's face at the end of the kickoff, and that is a huge play. 15-yard penalty, kills the morale. I mean, Corey, next play, 4 passes, nice game, pick up the first down. But Jeremy constantly hurts his team, and now even questionable plays, he's not going to be given the benefit of the doubt. Refs are throwing flags on him quick, and he picks up a big personal foul here throwing the ball in
And
his
the
face.
thing about it is, one thing I could say is, yes, you have other players that bait you into doing something like that. But Jeremy's an adult like everybody else. He got to know to scale back that and not even worry about it.
Because everybody's baiting him now.
Yes,
everybody's baiting him
yes,
because
they
want
are.
him. They know you can get under his skin, and he's going to get ejected.
And this hurt them because they were they were in good position to, you know, move down the field. The 15 yards scale back. Yes, you get those back, and they move down the field. But the clock, the precious time that you need when you're behind, is lost on a flag like this.
Third down, Corey is blitzed by Rel. Throws to Rico in the front of the end zone. Rico stopped running, incomplete. Last down, Corey rolls right, throws it up, incomplete, turnover on downs.
I gotta say one thing. I'm cutting you off here, but when you read that other play before, the pass was to Rico. He stops running, and that's an incomplete pass. If you look at this play here, this was a pass to Rico. Rico stops running. I don't know where Rico's head is, because usually this is an on-money play that Rico gets in
all day.
Sleep. So for Rico to stop running and not be on the same page as the quarterback, something is going on, because we didn't hear Rico's name being called all day. And a pass like this, that's a surefire way to move down the field, and Rico misses it because he misreads it. Something is going on, and I think that's the big play that hurt them in this drive and caused them to turn over.
I agree. This Rico is not the Rico we're accustomed to, and I think he has too much on his plate. He's worrying about too much, and he's so worried about styling and showing people what he can do. He already's there. People already know what he can do. You don't got to constantly prove yourself. You got to make the plays that people know you can make, rather than tell them the plays that you make. We all know what you can do, and he's now getting too caught up in the fan club trying to show them what he can do, and he's not making the plays he usually make. Ramsey with 2 short passes for a decent game. Last down, Ramsey throws to Julio in the middle for a decent game, picking up the first. Ramsey's blitzed by Rico, sacked by Kaka. Riot has to punt. Kaka has 4 sacks.
Yes.
You can't tell me sacking the quarterback, which is tagging him, is not a big play. He's shutting down Ramsey's running game, and that is a great sack. Got us 4 for the game.
And that's one of the main things on their defense, keeping them in the game. That pressure that's applied on Ramsey, keeping him in the pocket and forcing him to throw passes. It's actually being effective and making them turn over the ball. This could have been a much worse game if you didn't have Kaka with his 4 sacks in this game.
Corey throws it to him in the gap. It's tipped by Amir. Ball is tipped by Rel, picked off by Lou, ran all the way back to the end zone for the touchdown. Riot takes a commanding lead, 19-8, and now YMM is in trouble.
And that is unfortunate, but if you notice, this is Amir's second tip of the game.
Yep.
The first tip came in one of their first drives in the beginning of the game where he tipped it and it caused him a turnover ball when you said they were supposed to punt.
Yep.
That was a big play there. He makes another one here with the tip. I think if he doesn't tip it here, this probably would have been a complete pass. He plays defense. He gets his hands up. Remember, he's a tall guy. He's a big body. The ball is hard. It's hard for quarterbacks to get the pass past him, and he's able to make a big play here and cause an interception for Lou to run it back.
That was a huge play by Amir. Now, I'm gonna comment on that. Also, that big tip. You write that down. Okay. Now, Riot goes onside. The ball doesn't pass the 50-yard line. YMM gets the ball. They Riot challenges, and it was under 2 minutes, so we looked at it.
Yeah.
And let's see, did the ball pass the line before Julio touched it? What would you say?
It did not touch the line. So yes, it is YMM's ball. I think that the call was made right, and at the end of the day, they tried to challenge. Because it was under 2 minutes. The refs looked at it, but it didn't matter. It didn't change the call on the field. It is YMM's ball. The ball did not cross the line.
And as you can see, Ghost is blowing it up on the screen right now. It didn't pass before Julio touched it. The call was right. We got killed. People said this. People said that. And at the end of the day, 9 out of 10 times the refs get it right. Mm-hmm. We got the camera. The camera is too hard to tell outside. But we don't call New York down the main office like the NFL do and check the footage. We don't have that. We don't have that type of equipment. We do the best we can, but the call was right. Definitely good call by the refs, and we looked at it and we got the call right. Second down, Corey throws to Tim, cutting in the middle for a nice gain. Last down on 4 rush. Corey rolls right, throws to Santana in front of the end zone, off target, incomplete. End of the game. Riot Squad bumps Riot Squad.
Don't hit the table.
Oh yeah, Riot Squad bumps YMM 19-8 to move on to the next round.
And that right there sums up the whole game for YMM. They struggle to move the ball. They struggled to be accurate with their passes, and at the end, they had an opportunity to score there, and they couldn't even do that. So at the end of the day, that's how their season ends, with them not playing at the caliber they need to. And one person that has to look in the mirror and ask themselves, where was I this whole time? It's Rico. He got to ask himself, where was I this whole game? Because you did not hear his name at all in this game. Usually he is a big factor, especially on offense. He wasn't in this game, and I think that's the main thing that they were missing, and that's what hurt them, and that's one of the reasons why they're going home early.
Riot Squad moves on. They play great.
Yes.
They play great. They play great. That's all I can say. And they beat the defending Eastern Conference champs, which means we will have a new team going to the championship. The thing about it is, this is the UFL's 5th year in the Bronx.
Yeah.
The last 4 years, we had the same teams go to the conference, the championship. YMM went twice.
Yeah.
The Browns went twice. We have a new team going this year.
Yeah. And to say that, at least on the Eastern side, is, it's exciting. Because, again, you saw 2 teams going every year.
Yeah.
And now you see a fresh start for the East. Now it's up in the air.
Yep.
I kind of made my predictions already. I'm gonna share at the end of the show. But again, it's up in the air. A lot of teams in the East can take it. Riot Squad is there. A lot of other teams in the East. We'll talk about them. But now it's up for the taking. Not the your usual teams that normally go there are both out. So now it's exciting to see who is gonna emerge in the East and go to the championship.
Okay, now we're going to get on YMM. And I had a few things that I wanted to say.
And I will move because your phone is dying.
All right. Ghost is going to put the phone to charge. My phone always dies. So I'm going to get into what I feel about the team. Now, 99 versus ILDs is going to be a goodie. It is. That's true. YMM has problems. This team needs to understand that they have an opportunity to be one of the best teams in touch football. But they keep shooting themselves in the foot. They talk more than they play. You don't need to talk. Everybody knows who you are. Why wake a sleeping giant? Why give a team momentum to come back? And you do that every time you talk. Every time you do this and you got to prove, you feel you got to prove who you are. You don't. Let's look at the moves. And hopefully Ghost could put it on the screen, the names, as we show the video. Last year, YMM one loss versus, I believe it was IOD. No, Slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
When Slaughterhouse was on the East, if I'm right. They lost to them, and they were shorthanded. But they went to the championship. They beat Bulldogs, they beat Rep City, and they beat IOD. They lost to Carver, but that was a great run. This year, they lost Rhino, Mijo, Paul Wall. Those are some huge losses. They added guys like Tim.
Mm-hmm.
They
also lost Ty.
They lost Ty. They added guys like Wesley. Showed up about 3-4 games. Wasn't really here. Wasn't committed to Wyman.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a committed player. He's committed to Valley Boys, whatever Valley Boys at.
They could have used him in this game especially.
Yeah. And I think he was here. Don't think he made any plays. He was here, but I don't think he made any plays. Tim's a great player. Wasn't here. Missed a lot of games. He's playing football, other leagues. He's also playing tackle, but didn't commit to the YMM brand. Those are huge. But the elephant in the room is you got rid of the quarterback who took you to the championship. Corey numbers this year was 17, 15, and 3. He threw 15 interceptions. Some of those are extra points, so we're not going to kill him completely, but it's still 15 interceptions. That's a lot of turnovers. 3 sacks, and when you have intos so high and sacks so low, that means you forced the ball.
Yes.
This is my issue. Let's think about this. 1, Jeremy costs you. Love Jeremy's game. He costs you a lot of games, penalties. Not only penalties, he kills morale. He kills the energy of your team. You'll be driving. He'll make a mistake. He'll get mad. He took a personal foul this game for throwing the ball in the receiver's face. Not necessary. Stupid. And I give Lou props because Lou did not retaliate. He allowed Jeremy to get that flag to push him back 15 yards. You got rid of Nelson. Nelson took you to the championship. Now let's look at the moves that they made. YMM joins the UFL league. Their first year, they go to the championship with Ralph. One of the best downfield throwers in this game that the UFL have ever seen. Following season, they get rid of him. Bring in Nelson. Losing the first round.
To the Generals.
Generals. So that's what I said. They went to the chip with Ralph. Got Nelson. The following year, they lost in the first round. After going to the chip.
Yep.
This year, they went to the chip with Nelson last year. With McCory this year, lost in the first round. Something's wrong with that. Let me repeat this again.
Yes, I get the
Ralph,
sequence.
Go to the chip. Following year, you cut him. Go with Nelson. You lose in the first round. Nelson takes you to a chip. You cut him the following year. Go with Corey. Lose in the first round.
But I'm going to say this. I can't kill them for that decision because at the end of the day, you look at their team, you look at the way they are, and you look at Nelson. They let go of Nelson, but look at this. Nelson leaves their team, or he finds another team in High Rollers. What happened to that team?
Oh, Nelson basically sabotaged that team.
Yes.
Because he stopped showing up.
Yes.
He told me he came Saturday, he said he had to work, but regardless of the reason, he sabotaged that team. Now, again, whatever the situation YMM was going through, you got to fix that situation.
Yes.
Because I also heard Corey didn't play well against Carver. Amir tipped 2 passes.
Yes.
Nelson is taller than Corey.
Yes.
I kind of highly doubt those balls would have been tipped. And Nelson can run. Corey can't.
Yeah.
You got to understand the talent Is Corey a better quarterback? I think he's a better decision maker. I think he doesn't get rattled.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's better than Nelson. Nelson has more talent.
Yes.
But what stopped Nelson's growth is his team. His team stopped his growth. Rico didn't show up this game. Where was he? You go from one of the best offensive players in football to stop running a route off target with your quarterback. Then Santana was a guy that they brought in that controlled this team last year. This year got caught up in the talk. Got caught up in the back and forth with other teams. Didn't look like the same Santana.
Yeah.
They lost in the first round after going to a championship last year. They had to win their last 2 games in order to stay out of the wild card. When last year they didn't have to worry about it. This team destroyed themselves. And what this team needs, and they are, they need to find a leader. Mm-hmm. Because Rico clearly shows that he's not a leader anymore. Let's look at the recipe. Rico went to Carver, balled out, helped Carver win a chip. He was a part of that. I don't care what nobody says. They don't win a chip without Rico, Jeremy Bones. They won a chip there.
Yeah.
Reloaded. Goes to Reloaded in LES. Wins a chip with them.
Yeah.
Goes to IOD
Wins
in Friday Night Nights.
Yes.
Wins a chip with them. But you can't win a chip with all this talent on YMM. Something's wrong. But let's look at these teams you won with. Reloaded. Shaq is the leader of that team. IOD. Slasher, Tony, Adi's the leader of that team. Carver. Chuck and Pam's the leader of that team.
Yeah.
YMM. Rico and C's lead the team. They can't win a chip.
And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go back to comments that Rico himself made, you know, in terms of their leadership and their relationship between him and Caesar, whatever. Caesar is their coach, but Rico himself said, that's like my brother. You know, that's, you know, we are the same. That's my family. So it's hard to look at Caesar as a person that's going to be hard on them, be firm with them, because he's on the same level as them. That's my brother. That's my bro. You know, so at the end of the day, it's almost like they have the same mentality. They're on the same level. You need somebody on the outside that's going to be firm with them, that's going to keep them in line. They don't have that on their own. You have that at Carver. You have that with IOD. And you pretty much have that with Reloaded. You know, Shaq is their leader. Whether you question how he does things or not, he is their leader. He keeps them in line. Tony Slash and Adi keeps them in line. Pam's definitely keeps Carver in line. And Chuck is definitely a leader on the field as well. So these are things that puts them apart from everybody else, and it's why YMM does not have a chip to call their own. They're right there knocking on the door, but they cannot be let in because they do not have the keys to that door to open that door. It's on them. And leadership is the key. Once they have somebody to be firm and take the game seriously and not have to push themselves to prove anything, I think that they'll have the formula to win. They don't have it yet.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think until this team learns that they need a leader, which is why they R&R, they need to go out and sit down and interview leaders and stuff like that. Maybe they could go get LeBron James or, you know, Kobe Bryant or, you know, Tom.
I mean, Kobe Bryant has some free time.
Yeah,
now,
so they can go. So because this team, until they get a leader, they're not going to do anything. They have to get somebody that they respect. It can't be on the same level. I'm not saying that Jeremy doesn't respect Rico or they don't respect. That's not what I'm saying. We can't be on the same level. Exactly. I can't be a parent and on the same level as my kids and expect them to follow me and respect me. Bottom line, Corey's not a get-in-your-face type of quarterback. So if there's all type of chaos going on, they're going to have issues.
And even when Nelson was at the helm, Nelson wasn't a person that took charge of the team.
He was arguing with them half the time.
Because when you get on YMM, you're on the same level as everybody else. And you can't do that. You have to have a definitive leader that takes charge and has control of the team. If you don't have that, you have moments like this. And it is what it is.
Like I said, the team has been successful in the league, definitely. Went to 2 chips. Out of 5 years the league's been here, they've been to 2 chips, but they also lost twice in the first round. So that's big. 2 times in the first round you lost. You know what I mean? We could look at all the top teams, never lost in the first round. IOD never lost in the first round. Super Friends never lost in the first round. Carver never lost in the first round. Browns never lost in the first round up until now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But YMM lost twice in the first round. And one of those teams they lost to was Generals.
Yes.
So you got to look at it and say, what are we doing wrong? I love these guys. Like, I love all my guys in my league, but they need to fix it, or what's they going to keep running into the same roadblock. And you know who that is? Themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, I just wanted to let them know that. And Riot, listen, they have a chance to go to a championship.
Yeah.
Let's call this team what it is. They're a good team.
But I'm going to say this. They have to play the football that they played in this game. If they're able to keep control of themselves and not worry about arguing with the refs and fighting each other, and one person complain that they don't get the ball and everything like that, and Ramsey, you know, not taking risks that he doesn't need to take. As long as they keep that out of the game, I think that they have all the chance in the world to make it to the championship. They just got to keep playing the way that they're playing now, and the sky's the limit for them. That's just my opinion. And I think that the numbers and how they play today shows that they have the opportunity.
I think you're right. I mean, but they got another team that they're gonna play, and Rep City's a better team, a way better team than YMM as far as a quarterback.
Yes.
Izzy's a better runner than Corey.
Yes.
He commands the offense more better than Corey, and I think you know, they have a danger, and them not being able to pressure the quarterback, especially with B-Dot blocking.
I think that is the main
now
difference.
You give them more time for Rel, Meach, Vic to have a field day against that Riot Squad secondary.
And I'm gonna say this: when they beat them in Week 5. They had King there, and I believe he had 2 sacks in that game. And a touchdown.
Right. Take
that away, and it's a different game, especially when you have B-Dot blocking the way he is right now.
Yep.
So I think that Riot Squad is in trouble. They need to figure out how to get past all of those issues. But I think that they have a chance.
Absolutely.
If they play the football that they play.
Absolutely. I mean, they beat them, so they definitely have a chance. Like I said, Lou needs to ball out, and they need JP and Amir to make plays. And Julio also is another good offensive player. Ramsey cannot turn over the ball. I think if they have Vic giving the ball, Ramsey will kill him on the ground. Vic cannot stay with Ramsey running the ball. So they're going to have to adjust. But now if you adjust, you're going to have to put in a shorter giver who Ramsey can throw right over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love the matchup.
Yeah.
I love the matchup. You know what I mean? And it's definitely a revenge on the first game. So, that being said, we're going to wrap up. This was a little longer, but who cares? It was a good one.
Yeah.
We're going to shut down the show. This part, Riot Squad beating YMM and bumping them 19-8. Riot with the win. I'm back. What's going on? Stephen J. Ghost. We got different clothes on because it's a different day. We always like to throw that out there. Next game up, we're going to talk about is Dutchmen versus 99 Problems. Now, 99 Problems got their main man back this week. They got the reigning defensive player of the year, Joe.
Yeah.
This guy takes his team to another level.
Mm-hmm.
He's really talented. He's capable of making any type of play. He has the ability to dominate on both sides of the ball if he's given the opportunity. And I think with him with Shannon, that's a great 1-2 punch to give Casey more weapons.
Pretty much with him here, it puts them on another level because he's a person that could take up the slack for half of the guys on the team.
Absolutely.
He is a big star player on this 99 team, and it gives less stress on Shannon. That defenses don't always be able to follow him when they have Joe to worry about on the other side. So that is a big pickup for this 99 team. They need him here.
Yep.
They could have used him during the season, but now that they're in the playoffs, it's imperative that he's.
Well, he was here during the season, but throughout the season, if he was here more games. Throughout the season,
what I'm saying, but not that he's here in the playoffs. He's here to play big, and I'm hoping, and they're hoping that he plays at his known caliber if they want to win this game.
And Dutchmen's a team that can surprise you. I mean, I like their quarterback. They got a pretty Weiss is a good quarterback. But they got guys like I like Chris. I'm really a Frank fan. I really like Frank. That guy is a baller. He's impressive. He's a silent assassin. You know, no, I'm not gonna say silent assassin because he talks.
Yeah, he does.
I'm not gonna say silent assassin, but he's a killer. But you don't even realize he got the potential to kill.
Yeah.
And Isaiah is one of the best pass rushers in this game. He's been on another level that I've seen this year. I think he complains a little too much, gets caught up a little too much in the complaining. But the guy is definitely a great player. And Mikey's been playing great all season. So with those types of weapons that they got, I also, they got Nook here. Nook is a good player. I like that guy Mills at corner. He's a very physical corner. He's a lockdown corner, but he gets physical. I like this game. I like this team.
Well, one thing I got to say about these guys is Isaiah is one person that is pretty much unblockable coming in. You have Mills, who's a very athletic player, not only physical, but he knows how to attack the ball when it's thrown. And you also have Mikey that puts pressure on the quarterback whenever he gets the opportunity. So these guys can cause trouble on an offense if they don't pay attention to them. And that's something that we may see in this game if 99 doesn't take them seriously.
Well, the last game they played, 99 beat them 15-10. So the game was close. You know what I mean? 99 came away with the win. But the question is, were they going to be able to do that again a second time around? Yeah, last time they played, 99 was able to beat them 15-10. KC threw 2 touchdowns, but he also threw 3 picks. Frank threw that game. He threw a touchdown, but, they didn't have Whites here. Yeah. So, they didn't play that well. Javon had a touchdown. Shannon had a touchdown, which 2 guys I got to get involved. We seen Dre have 2 sacks that game. And Javon, Mack, and both had interceptions. So at the end of the day, it was a good game, but we're going to have to see what more these teams can bring, what more these teams could do coming into this game. And we're going to jump right into it. Third down, White throws to Chris on the sideline for a big gain at the 49-yard line. After getting the first down, White gets blitzed by J-Mo, throws to Moses, cutting in the back of the end zone. In the gap, ball is tipped by Moses, picked off by Shannon, who pitches to Joe. Joe runs into the 40-yard line. Dutchman gets flagged for cursing, and now 99 is in great field position.
And this is not a way to start the game if you're the Dutchman. Okay, fine. You see White overthrow Moses here. They get the interception. They run it back for a decent yardage. You don't need the cursing flag because that hurts you even more.
Yep.
You got to keep your composure. This is one thing that the Dutchman had a problem with all through the season, and it seems like it's spilling into the playoffs right here, and it's giving 99 the opportunity to take away this game early.
Second down, KC on 4 rushes, sacked by Isaiah. You have one of the worst offensive lines in the game in 99. First and one of the best pass rushes in the game, and that spells disaster. Last down, KC throws to Joe in the back of the end zone. High, incomplete, turnover on downs. Dutchmen avoid the problem of turning over the ball in the beginning, and they're able to stop 99 to get the ball.
And that is a way to buckle up on defense and make sure that your mistake does not hurt you later on. They lock up, they put pressure on Casey, and I think that is the key to throwing their offense off. They do that here, and it causes a turnover.
Whites get the ball. He scrambles and throws it deep to Isaiah, cutting on the sideline. Isaiah with a great catch, stays in bounds for a big gain. After getting the first down, Whites throws deep to Nook in the back of the end zone. Over Joe's head, pass is dropped by Nook. Third down, Whites throws deep to Moses. It's incomplete. They're going to have to punt. And Nook is one of the biggest trash talkers on his team, and he drops the touchdown that he should have caught, which would have gave them a lead.
And the thing about this is plays like this in the playoffs come back to bite you.
All the time.
You cannot afford to have dropped touchdown passes. That's one thing when you're struggling on offense, but if you have it in your hand, you got to catch it because, again, this is going to come back if 99 is able to retaliate off of this.
Second down, after a short pass to Chris, Casey throws to Joe on the sideline. Joe with a nice catch while staying inbounds for a nice gain. After getting the first down, Casey on 4 rush is sacked by Isaiah. If you look here, Isaiah fights through the block to get a sack, his second sack of the game. Second down, Casey throws to Joe in the gap, high, incomplete. Look here, Casey's frustrated. He's not throwing his passes on target. I have to blame the pass rush. He's worrying about the rush, and that's hurting him. After the short pass to Shannon, Casey on 4th down throws it up in the end zone. Mills jumps over Javon, knocks the ball away, incomplete, taking us into the half 0-0. If I'm Dutchman, Isaiah is the key. He's making plays offensively, but defensively, he's bringing the pressure to KC. We don't see Mikey. Isaiah's picking up the slack, playing great defense. If we could get some points, we can really win this game and upset this 99 problem team.
And 99 have some problems moving into the second half. They weren't able to score because they cannot stop the pass rush from Isaiah. And if KC is not comfortable, he's not going to be accurate, and he's not going to be the time manager that he normally is. And that is going to put more pressure on the defense to lock up. So they have to find a way to keep KC safe in the pocket. If they don't do that, it's gonna lead to more problems leading on, and they may even lose this game.
Second half, after getting the first down, KC throws 3 passes in the middle for a decent gain. Last down at the 10-yard line, KC finds Joe in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Lou gets the extra point, 7-0. 99 takes the lead.
And finally, they're able to have KC do what he normally does, chop up the field and find his receivers in the end zone. Joe gets into this game in a big way.
How happy are them to have him back?
Yes, I'm pretty sure Blaze and all the guys on the sideline is very happy to see him here, because as soon as he comes back, as soon as he has the opportunity, he's able to put points on the board.
After 2 short passes by White, on 3rd down, he throws deep to Mills in the end zone for the touchdown. Mills make a great catch over the former defensive player of the year, Joe, and he puts him back in the game. 7-6 coming into the extra point.
And the shocking thing is, you usually see Joe doing this on other guys, but here you see Mills doing it on him. That just shows that Joe here, even though he's a dynamic player, he's a little rusty, or he has his timing wrong. He didn't even jump on that one. When I say this guy has a crazy vertical, he has a crazy vertical. He goes up and gets that ball for the score for his team.
Extra point, they go for it. And if you look here, look at the pass, Moses drops the extra point. 7-6, that's a huge drop. Was that on White or was that on Moses?
And I gotta put this on Moses. White put it right in his chest. There's no other, you can't ask for a better pass than that. Moses clearly drops his pass, and this may bite him later on.
Second down, Casey throws the jail in the middle, picked off by Frank, who runs it all the way to the 40-yard line. And this is what I talk about. I love Frank playing that safety position. He's great at jumping the route. I'm gonna love to see him matched up with Jeremy at the safeties in the All-Star game. But right now, that's a great pick by Frank.
And he's doing what he can to get his offense back on. He was able to read Casey's pass right there, come up and snatch the ball. They have to pay attention to him on the field, because he's been doing this all season and it doesn't stop in the playoffs.
White gets blitzed by J-Mo, throws deep to Nook in the back of the end zone. That's dropped, and Nook gets ejected for cursing right before the next play. And the issue with this play is, first of all, that's Nook's second drop touchdown. Third off, he gets ejected. So now the team loses him, and that's a huge play. He was talking all game, and the first finally caught him cursing. The second time, he's out.
And the thing about it is, again, you do not need this in the playoffs. This is the worst time to have cursings. This is the worst time to get ejected for cursing, because they need every person out there in order to win this game. And plus, it gives away field position for the other team. So this hurts you in every single way. It doesn't matter. They finally catch Nook and they throw him out, and this hurts the Dutchmen moving forward.
Second down, White throws deep to Chris on the sideline. Picked off by Joe, giving it back to 99. If you look here, Joe baited White into the throw. This is why this guy won Defensive Player of the Year last year. Baiting quarterbacks, he still got that going. Remember, he gave up a touchdown earlier. He's not going to give up another one. He makes a nice interception.
Well, White wasn't here to see him play last year, so he doesn't notice that this is a person you have to watch out for. Joe is there, and he's fast enough to make it back to this play. He's almost on the other side of the field, but because the ball was hanging so high, Joe was able to get there in time and snatch that ball for a big interception.
After 2 short plays, Casey on 4 rush is sacked again by Isaiah. 99 is going to have to punt. Isaiah's 3rd sack of the day. This guy is going off in the playoffs. He's really trying to get them to the next round. Great play by him, forcing 99 to punt. Remember, 99 is only up 7-6.
And the thing about it is, they have, and this is killing Casey right now. Every drive, you notice that he gets sacked at least once. And this is killing him. He doesn't have any time to manage the field. And because of that, they're turning over the ball left and right. They only have 7 points on the board. That's unfortunate. They need to score more if they want to win this game.
First down by 1. Dutchmen have the ball. First down, he's going to throw deep to Frank, who has a step on Davi. That ball is dropped. Now, people question, why would you go for the bomb? But Frank has to make that catch. He drops it. After getting the first down, White on second down throws deep to Isaiah in the end zone. Incomplete. If you look here, the gap was wide open. And once again, White wants the home run play, and he goes downfield. That's a big clown second down.
And the thing about it is, if you look at the play here, if you look at this part of the field, this is easy yardage in the gap. Nobody lines up in this part of the field. You go there. If you were in the safety valve, I'm running to the gap to get some big yardage, because there's no defenders in that area. They don't take that option. Everybody's going deep, and that's what's making White's job even harder.
Third down, White scrambles on 4 rush, throws to Frank in the middle, knocked away by Davi. The gap was open again. Everybody on this play is going deep, shooting himself in the foot. Last down, White throws it up, incomplete pass, ending the game. 99 beats them 7-6 to move on to the next round.
And I gotta say that the Dutchmen had the opportunity to win this game, and they pretty much gave away the game with some turnovers that they didn't need to have.
Yep.
People Nook getting ejected, and some drop touchdown passes, and that big extra point by Moses that comes back. Like I said, Moses has been a person who hasn't been getting the ball all season. He cuts it in the playoffs in a big way, and he drops the extra point. Nothing can be said about that other than he didn't show up in this game. And everybody else on his team who was dropping touchdown passes, they got to look themselves in the mirror and say, I lost this game for my team, because that's exactly what went down.
Well, we're going to, before we talk about 99 Problems, moving on to the next round, we're going to talk about the Dutchmen. They showed a lot of promise. This team is dangerous once they get used to everything. I think what they need to do on their rest and relaxation is they need to go to a food pantry where they give away food for less fortunate. They need to go to a football pantry because they gave away this game pretty much. They gave this game to 99 Problems. They had opportunities to win, and they gave it away. Nook dropped 2 touchdowns. Moses drops the extra point. So they was in the giving mood. Joe baited Weiss into throwing that pick.
Yeah.
Frank dropped the bomb going downfield. They're in the giving mood. They wanted to give 99 a win. So as you can see here, they're giving away wins. They're giving away W's, you know what I mean? They did it all season. If you look at the games, a lot of the games they played, I could give you several games that I think they gave away this season. I'm going to tell you several games they gave away this season. If you look at Rep City, they lost 13-12. They played Street Fam, they lost 13-6. They played Brotherhood and tied. They played 99 regular season and lost 15-10. This game they lost 7-6. So they love giving games away. They love giving away wins. So why not go to a football pantry where there, give me some of those wins. I could take it and run with it.
I mean, if they're gonna give away footballs and give away games and stuff like that, then they should go to actual pantry and give to the needy. Because if they're in the giving mood, then give to those who are in need. Because
they gave it to the other teams. The other team, 99, needed this win, and they gave it to them.
Listen, all I'm saying
they
is
gave it to them. They're offering them at this time. Thank you, Dutchmen, for looking out for 99 Problems. Even though I thought you were supposed to play to win for your teammates, they decided to give away the game, and they gave away this game. Right? 2 touchdown drops.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say?
Dropped extra point.
They obviously
drop bomb downfield.
They got to learn from their mistakes.
Route jumped on the thing. An ejection. They was in the given mood.
They got to learn from their mistakes, but again, they're gonna have a lot of the next couple of months or to next year to learn from it. They have a lot of time to figure it out moving forward, though.
Now 99. They move on to the next round. They'll lose if they play like this again. Bottom line. Do you remember saying Shannon? Barely.
No.
You can't. If they don't get Shannon the ball, they're not gonna win. If they don't find a way to stop the pressure,
I think that's the key. How can you get the ball to anybody if you're under pressure so much?
they've been dealing with this all year. They have no offensive line.
So
they have nobody that can block. So they better give Shannon the ball in space, throw some screens, get a little more creative, because this offensive line has been terrible all year, and by Isaiah being able to get 3 sacks this game, they kept it up.
And I'm just going to say this, though. The team that they face in the next round, regardless of who it is, they are definite pass rush. They have definite pass rushers.
Between Never Scared and ILD.
Yes, they both have pass rushers, and they're both physical. So they're going to be coming in to come get the quarterback. So regardless of what, they got to figure out something. Otherwise, they're going to be done by the end of that game.
Well, we're going to wrap up the show, right? We're going to wrap up this segment. 99 with the win over Dutchmen, 7-6. 99 moves on to the next round. We're going to be right back. Real Tough Talk.